Welcome to the War Report. My name is Quan. This is a show where we discuss AEW and NXT. And Cyrus is still not with us this week. He will be back next week, at least what he told me. We'll see after Full Gear if he still wants to show up. But I am here with a friend of the show, multi-time guest. I think he might have the record from. It might be between him and Dom.
Yeah,
who's been on here to show the
I think you have to give us on the show together one of these days.
That'd be interesting.
No.
That'd be interesting. You know, a whole all-star team on here. Chris Mack is on the show. What's up, Chris? What's going on, man?
What's going on, Quan, man? It's good to hear from you, man. Long time, since I've been on the show last, but I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to tear it up with you and talk about this bullshit product from Jacksonville.
Yeah, man. It's become not that you weren't one of the first choices I had in mind, but it's become very hard to find people to even do this show that even have like a general idea of what's going on in AEW at the moment, just because it's been pretty rough. I can't even, someone as me, like me, who's very optimistic, or at least try to be on this show, to counter Cyrus's pessimism with the AEW. I can't even. It's very hard for me to find a silver lining right now within the show, and I'm happy you're here with me. I'm happy you hear the experience.
Yeah, I'm glad to bring some levity here. I'll try to be as positive as I can, but for real, it's just
man.
hard. It's just hard. It's just hard.
Just
When I do step in and watch an episode of Dynamite, because I am not watching any Collision or Rampage, I just do not have the bandwidth to consume so much wrestling when I devote my time, elsewhere to stuff that I do like, and watching this show tonight, I was just, it really felt like, just watching just a car crash on television, or or harking back to them days of watching WCW during this late years in the
what year? What year of
2000s,
W? What year? We're
2000 for
2000.
sure. We're just straight up just nonsense.
2000. Wow. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
just straight up
I
nonsense here.
was gonna say 99.
90, like
2000.
late 99 and early 2000. It's just nonsense. Like because it's one thing one week and then the next week is something completely different, like what they did with the Colorado Adam Cole. Like, what's going on here? Like it really feels like there is no linear, organic, streamlined thought that goes into these shows. It's like everyone's doing their own thing from one end to the next. It doesn't feel like it's one encompassing show, that ties everything together. And it's just hard to watch at times, for sure.
It's rough. We'll get into it, but before that, I want to get some other stuff. First of all, MVP is it currently in my mentions on Twitter. Earlier today, according to I looked at a tweet on No DQ from No DQ. I didn't even read the article. It shows how much effort I put into this. MVP claims about what WWE wanted to do with Hurt Business, but then deletes the post. And then I responded by saying, I gotta be honest, I don't like how MVP's moving. He's acting kind of lame. He keeps implying stuff, but then doesn't want to stand on it. And then someone responded to me, shout out to Soul Brother _89, said, remember when he said he's going to set the record straight on a podcast to be determined later? Good times. And then somehow he's seen that and he said, sit tight. So exclusive from the Comebacks bot. The podcast is still coming, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, when? Like, because at this point, people are already tired of. I mean, I know I'm just tired of hearing, the runaround about this whole ordeal, whether what happened with the Hurt Business and what not happened, and insinuating the whatever heat that he has with Triple H that is still lasting, and how he and Bobby Lashley are missing, when Vince McMahon ran things. It's like without them even saying it, you know what I mean? But we could clearly see it in some of these quotes. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, thank goodness that Shelton Benjamin is at least keeping him so quiet because he doesn't fucking talk. Unless it's him and Mia Yim get into some flame wars. But other than that, I'm like, dude, I don't care. Like, you guys are now AEW now. Like,
Yeah.
you finally fulfill whatever significant hurt business fantasy that you wanted to do there. Why continue to bring up what didn't go right for you guys over in WWE, especially at a time when that
It
act was, it was, it felt like a small act during the time during the pandemic of the Thunderdome era, where they had a skeleton crew of a roster, and and Lashley was able to work and become the top guy there when no one else was around, and people were staying at home during the pandemic. And well, at the time, like before all this, I'm pretty sure that Shelton and Cedric, as much as talented workers that they are, they probably weren't going to get as much reactions post pandemic with the crowd than they were beforehand. That shit, they weren't really getting reactions when they made teases for it anyway. So I'm just, I don't know. It's just so weird just seeing that, you know, seeing MVP continue to, insinuate that he said stuff that say that it isn't about race when it comes to the makeup the hurt business, you know, or say that Triple H isn't racist, but yet he's saying things that make you think that he's again inferring that he is racist, but
look.
are stuff
This
from like 20 years ago that no one really gives a fuck about. He's
this
still bringing it back up.
this is how I feel, bro. Like, I can't tell MVP how to feel about his time with the former
Yeah,
employer. That's not my issue with this. My issue is,
yeah,
don't bring it up, and then when somebody asks you to expand on what you brought up, say, "Nah, I didn't mean that," or just start deleting tweets, or
yeah.
like throwing stones into hiding your hand. You know what this reminds me of? Actually, just to take it out of wrestling for a little bit. This Future and
Yeah.
Metro just put out just talking about this on, I believe, for GQ. I want to say they were talking about the beef with the Kendrick Drake beef, whatever, and he's just like, "What beef?" You know what I mean? He like, why would they were just like, "What beef?" They were like, "Why would I invest my time in all this?" Yada yada. Meanwhile, they invested their time. You know what I
They
mean?
had a
Don't
whole ass Rolling Loud set.
you invested
Dissing
your
him.
time. You can't say that there was no beef, or like, you didn't see it. I don't know. It just like, I hate when people throw stones and hide their hand. It drives me crazy. Like, yo, just stand on what you said. If you don't like Drake, if you don't like Triple H, if you don't like WWE, stand on it. What like, I don't understand this whole like, I'm gonna throw shots, but then when somebody asks me about it, nah, I ain't mean it like that. It's just pussy, bro. I don't like that in any aspect. It doesn't have to be wrestling. It could have been the other way around. Even if it was like, if it was Triple H talking shit, and then when somebody pressed him about it, he was like, "Nah, I ain't mean it like that." You know what I mean? Like, I just don't like that. You're a grown
Yeah.
ass man, bro. You in your 50s. I, Future, you
It's so
45 years
strange.
old. Come on, man. What you doing?
Come on.
Ugh,
Old niggas acting like high school kids, man. It's
I
crazy.
hate it. I hate it. What happened to the game I love, man? Uh, uh, I don't know, man. Um, do you want to stay in hip hop while we're here? I don't get to
What
talk.
was that?
I don't get to talk. Do you want to stay in hip hop for a little bit while we're here?
I mean, yeah, yeah. Why not, man? It's been a while since I actually got to speak about hip
Yeah,
hop on anything,
I don't
so
get to
that would be
speak
cool.
hip hop.
Yeah.
This year, album of the year talk, hip hop album of the year talk, I should say. It's been interesting. This has been I feel like this has been a really strange year for hip hop. It's been a lot of discussion within kind of the mainstream of where it's at right now, as far as
Yeah.
albums on the Billboard. They weren't really there this year.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of buzz outside of the beef. Not much going on. There were some
Yeah.
some albums that stood out. Schoolboy Q earlier in the year. I'm speaking
Mm.
mainstream, of course, not like any of the underground stuff, but like Schoolboy Q, Doechii getting a lot of high praise. Damn, who else? Vince Staples got
Just
a lot of
recently,
praise.
Tyler.
Tyler, of course, Tyler album's fantastic, fantastic album. But yeah, outside of that, it's been really strange. I don't really know how to explain this year in hip hop. This is the first time I want to say since like late '90s where hip hop doesn't feel like the number one genre of music in America. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. It's yeah, especially in the mainstream sense. It's just like is it really never really catapult, to the heights there was in years past. Of course, with the Drake and Kendrick beef, it kind of had a little bit of a spark of interest, within, especially like hip hop listeners such as ourselves, what was going on. But after a while, when they just start trading a whole lot of barbs and shit was becoming beyond, of course, well, with Not Like Us um, and and
Oh,
then allegations coming and shit,
yeah,
that definitely just took it to a different plane. But overall, man, I don't know if it was just that or just the fact that the fact that young Doug was in jail for the last 2 years and now he's getting out and probably maybe we'll see like some balance being restored within, just for the interest of what's going on, in mainstream music. But other than that, it was just really boring on that
very boring.
aspect. A lot of the rap that I've been listening to in hip hop, yeah, it's just been like underground releases that are, small mid-label releases that were always very good and consistently good. It has been for the
Yeah,
last few years or so. I've been listening to a lot of Navy Blue, Ka RIP. He dropped this album a couple of months before his passing, and I've
yeah.
been listening to that record recently, a whole lot. And a lot of the veterans, of course, like L Cool J and Q-Tip, like The Force, that album is
Was it
tight.
hard? Was it?
Yeah, it's great, man. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Like it's funny. I wanted that to be. I thought it was going to be nominated for the Grammys, but the album came out a week after the cutoff date,
Oh, did it?
so
Okay.
which was funny as hell. Yeah.
You
So
would say you
Common
would
and
say
Pete Rock
Grammy
got the
Grammy
spot.
you would say Grammy not
Yeah.
Grammy worthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard like that. I didn't hear a peep about that Common and Pete Rock album
It was
at
okay. It was
all.
good. It was good, but
Mm,
I feel like Ella blew it out the water. And
mm.
that definitely is legit one of my favorite albums of the year.
I'll check it
But
out.
yeah, but yeah, it was a very strange year. Um, Overall, like I really just stuck to what I liked this year. And really didn't venture out to anything that was coming around or what was bubbling or what was about to pop because it really didn't gauge my interest that much. Other than maybe JP, like really when JP
Shout out
had
JP. Shout out
Bad
JP.
Bitty, man, like JP had Bad Bitty. I was
Song of
like,
the
all
year.
right, this shit might gonna be hit. This might be the hit. This might be the hit. And then the fucking beef happened and it destroyed everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think that's
the
what really
beef.
happened. The beef destroyed everything because I thought that that would have been something Drake would have got on there. I would took that song to another level. But shit happens. And hopefully we can find a proper reset in the next couple of years.
We need it. Um,
Yeah, we do.
shout out to Shabuzi. Shout out to Sabrina Carpenter. Shout out to Billie
Yeah,
Eilish.
man.
Who else? Shout out Charlie XCX. They ran shit this year.
Charlie. Yeah, they kept it afloat for sure, man.
They ran shit. Honestly,
Um,
all great albums. I'm not even gonna hold you. All good albums. Every one of those
all
people,
good.
I thought they all good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You fuck with
that's hip.
Tizo touchdown?
I'm very Tizo. I'm
I
very
he's interesting, but I'm not a big Tizo fan. My wife is actually she's big on Tizo, but I think he's all right in
I
small
like him on
doses.
features. I really like him on
Yeah,
features.
he's a cool feature guy,
His
but
actual music, if I haven't heard his album. There's a couple songs I do like on there, but I haven't heard the full project to even really gauge how I feel about him as a solo artist. But I do like him on features. I thought his feature on Tyler's album is really good.
he seems like
That
someone I'll be interested in watching live. But
Yeah,
but yeah, I probably wouldn't, venture to really go and listen to his music regularly.
I get it. I totally
Yeah,
understand it. All right, let's get back to wrestling. Also, guys, I'm gonna tell
for
y'all right
sure.
up. There's no itinerary on this show. There's no there's no
Yeah,
map.
we are
We're,
literally freestyling this,
we're
man.
freestyling it, but I do have a couple things written down. I didn't completely freestyle it. It's a radio written. Uh, Speedball. It looks like his
Mhm.
contract gonna be up soon at the end of the year. Mike Bailey. It looks like all originally there was reports that he might be involved in the Continental Classic, but I don't believe his contract will be up by then to be involved in it because it will be next week, and I don't think is till the end of the year. Um, I like Mike Bailey. Look,
Yeah,
I can't speak on financials or whatever, but I'm just like looking at these shows, looking at these companies right now, and the free agents kind of making moves. I don't know what people are seeing going over to AEW at the moment. Outside of financials, I don't know how much they offered him
yeah.
compared to
I
WWE.
mean,
If,
it's just a bag. The
but
bag is great,
some
but
some
just
but
looking at the product right now, where are you going to fit in?
that and it's just like you look at NXT. Say he goes to NXT or whatever,
Mhm.
wide open. That men's division,
Mm.
what anybody can take that
It
over.
needs help.
Anybody can go in there right now. I probably was so shocked when I'm not Ricky Starks, Daniel Garcia was
Daniel
like, nah,
Garcia, like
like that could have been yours. You could have had all of that easily. Now we got Rich Holland. You know what I mean? Like we're like now we got to deal with Rich Holland. But yeah, I'm just Speedball. I'm interested to see how he kind of fits in. I think he's immensely talented. I think he's really, really good. From the when I was watching TNA earlier this year, I enjoyed his matches. Yeah, I feel like they have a lot of guys that just kind of like him
I mean,
already,
I mean, I already feel like they're going to blow through the Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Takeshita trifecta the moment he signs, and
for sure.
they did what
Command,
else?
they'd be working
Yeah,
Commander. He's gonna get the
Commander,
Commander match. Uh,
Hologram, Beast Mortos. You know, you got to get
I
that one in.
I hadn't even seen Hologram. Hologram ain't been on TV in a minute.
Hmm. After he won that match against Mortos,
He must be back in Mexico or something. I have not seen. Now that you mention it, I don't remember the last time I typed hologram in the spreadsheet. So it's been a while.
wow,
Yeah, but yeah, I
interesting.
can see all those matchups, and then he feels very much like a Rampage Collision guy. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it's looking like. Which I mean, again, hey, I think if he ends up giving like Fada Scott a job there at AEW, and God bless, he's probably going to be just doing commentary for Ring of Honor. So
that's
that's just one thing. But for Mike, yeah, what is he? He's what international TNT type challenger. We're not going to see him in the world title picture. That's you could just dead that.
yeah.
So
No, I don't.
yeah, it's not there's not much he's going to do, But hey, again, he is an incredible talent. Best of luck for him. If he goes, you and yeah, I'll probably peep the Osprey and Takeshita match. And that'll be it.
Hmm. Tony Khan. We're gonna talk about
Oh
Tony
no,
Khan for a little bit.
I know where we're going to go here, huh?
I guess he had an interview with Chicago Sports Radio. Um, he was speaking about his roster, a certain sector of the roster. This is the headline I saw. Tony Khan said that he believes most of the top black wrestlers in the world are now in AEW. This is the quote. We've been fortunate enough to be able to build up some stars and also have a lot of great free agents come in to where I think so many of our top wrestlers, some of the top black wrestlers in the world are in AEW. I really think most of the top black wrestlers in the world are now in AEW, but I think that is a conscious thing, but I also think it's great and it's awesome to hear that. Um, when I first saw this quote, I was kind of like, what? I wish I heard the audio to give me a little bit more
Yeah,
context, but because just reading it, to me, it sounds like my blacks are better than their blacks.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I hate to say that, but that's genuinely what it sounds like.
It,
And
it,
if we're speaking that way, I disagree. I don't think so.
No,
I
no,
don't think so. To be honest with you, no. I will say definitely got a lot more black people on TV recently in the past month or two. I'll give them that. But if we're talking just like best and what positioning of kind of the wrestlers, eh,
I mean, as far as like talent alone, I mean, when it comes to the number of like notable
yeah.
wrestling, we're just strictly talking about just from a pro wrestling standpoint. Uh, yeah, you got some of the better ones out there for sure. I mean, Ricochet, Leo Rush, notwithstanding, of course, Sadina. Whenever we ever see her,
Never.
which will be never. We'll talk about that a little later. And there's quite a few, but I mean, they're none of them are bigger stars than Bianca Belair or Montez Ford or Angel Dawkins or Kofi Kingston for the matter. And I mean, if you really want to go there, none of them is a bigger star than The Rock. Whatever he does, claim his blackness from time to time. And
When you feel like it.
when looking for that quote, and I understand the context of it, but it also comes across as something that could be used for another trivial warfare that I'm just not interested in getting into whatsoever.
We
I
got the
looked at
better
that quote.
blacks.
I looked at that quote. I looked at the segment of and I just went on my way because clearly that is bait for a lot of AEW faithfuls to say something along the terms of that company having better representation than WWE. Yet what we've seen with our own eyes, the positions and the investment that WWE has done, not only for the rise of black talent there, but for all minorities that they have listed from from Latinos and Latinas, Asian representation. We already have, of course, specific Islander representation. That's always going to be there. And even European, like shit, like all of NXT UK is like populating throughout the main roster in NXT now. And the fact that they work towards having something for your entire audience and not just one segment, that really does speak volumes. And that's the whole purpose of being a company that cater to different masters in a way that your only way you're going to grow is to know how to do that and work around that avenue, those aspects. So as far as like AEW is trying to win brownie points for, having, black names on the shows or having their own black universe, which we're seeing with Swerve and the Hurt Syndicate and, and, giving Private Party the tag titles, out of, the likelihood of them not really getting across or always failing. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just weird to see that, especially again. We have Athena, who has been their Ring of Honor Women's Champion for like 3 years now, and we barely hear people her on Dynamite or Collision. It's very strange to see that, and I don't know until we actually again, we actually see these folks in those prominent spots and they're really investing time in these people in these workers. I mean, I'm just taking it with a grain of salt, whatever comes out of Tony Khan's mouth. You can't really believe all of it.
I agree 100%. Um, to me, I feel like I know how online Tony Khan is. It does feel almost reactionary to kind of the stuff people have been saying about Triple H online. Um, on top of the stuff MVP was implying, it's very much feel like, hey, see, look, we're not racist like those guys over there. Look what we're doing, which whatever. But also, I can't be that mad at it because it's getting black people on TV. If you would have asked me this,
Hmm.
20 years ago when I was a kid, seeing all these black wrestlers on TV, I wouldn't complain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
we had was
because
Booker
all
T.
we had was D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry, man, and
Booker
Harlem
T.
Heat.
You know what I mean?
you know,
We had weird niggas like Orlando Jordan. You know what I
oh
mean?
man. And he's from my hometown, Richmond, too, right? Like that's like one of the lowest key things that he's from there. And yeah, he got weirder and weirder ever since.
Strange guy. That Orlando
He's
Jordan.
very true. I actually thought about him earlier, like a week or so ago. Not just because of like, man, I wonder what he's doing. I just had his damn theme song in my head.
I don't remember it. The last thing I remember of Orlando Jordan.
It was generic stock music, man, that was heard before, and then they gave him the music for his theme song.
Gotcha. Last thing I remember of Orlando Jordan. He was wilding. It was a TNA, and he had the fake ass extension in his hair, and he had like this like
Yeah.
white cream. He like rubbing it on his body and shit. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I
yo, what
was
kind
like,
of
bro,
weirdo, freaky ass shit y'all on over here? Very strange. Uh,
that was the time that I was not watching TNA. I was like, well, but I did remember of that gimmick. I was like,
I
oh hell
remember
no,
that. I
man.
remember that vividly. He was wilding for that. All right, man, let's get into NXT real quick, man. um, these Iron Survivor matchups. First, we got Nathan Frazier versus Eddie Thorpe. Um, I kind of predicted this last week. I said Nathan Frazier should absolutely be in the match. Axiom was in it last year. It's Frazier's turn. This is a match built for him. Um, and he's gonna show out, man. I've always been a fan of Nathan Frazier. Eddie Thorpe, I don't know. I still don't have. They're trying, but I just don't really see it. I really don't. You have any
No,
thoughts on the
he's
match or the
just.
results or anything like that?
I thought it was like, I mean, for a Nathan Frazier masterclass, yeah, it was one of those showcase. It was just a proper showcase of his talent, man. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, I remember we were discussing in Discord, like this dude is pretty much Seth Rollins when he had good knees at the
yeah,
time, and he was just like when it comes to that finisher stretch, you had all the tag teams that were involved because him and Axiom are still bickering again for I don't know 6 8 months
bro.
straight,
They've been
going
dragging this
about.
this out for so
They've been
long.
dragging it for a while. And and all the tag teams are still trying to come for the titles, and they're all around ringside, becoming a distracting factor for both Frazier and Thorpe. And they end up going to a brawl, and Frazier ended up doing this wicked senton off the top rope, crashing out on everyone, and then eventually he ended up getting back in the ring with Thorpe and secured the victory after a Phoenix Splash. I thought it was pretty cool finish. It was a nice hot finish, hot start to the show.
Yeah,
But I mean, they're doing something with Eddie Thorpe, because he's now being this disgruntled, frustrated guy that feels like he's getting disrespected by Ava at every turn. So I'm interested in seeing where that goes, but I don't I can't say I'm too interested in him right now. But who knows,
yeah.
man? We've seen what they did with Rich Holland, so anything is possible.
They can make miracles happen sometimes.
Yeah,
Um, What's the next one? Oh, Jada Parker, Stephanie Vaquer. Um, this finish was, I mean, the winner was obvious, but I will say I'm still impressed. There's two wrestlers that I'm just very impressed by, just how fast
mm.
they've kind of caught on to it in such a short time. Harley Cameron and Jada Parker.
Yeah. But
They
I
both
think
get it.
Harley's been there. Harley's been wrestling for like 2 years now. You know,
No, she had
uh,
no, she just started this
no,
year.
no, she's been wrestling for a couple of years, dog. Like,
Harley Cameron.
well, yeah, yeah, for the last 3 years, she's been wrestling for about 3 years
Oh,
now.
let me
She's
go
just
look
been
this
wrestling
up.
AEW for like this past year.
Are we sure?
Um, yeah, I believe so. She's done some indie spot shows. She worked.
All
She
right,
worked with Saria.
she only got
Yeah,
49 matches. I'm gonna say that
yeah,
much. How many Jada got?
yeah.
Probably the same.
Probably about the same now, or at least
That's what
like
I'm
half of that
saying.
at this point. But it feels like she's been working a whole lot, like since Jada
Jada got more
debuted.
matches. Jada has
Yeah,
more.
she's
Jada
been
has
working a
54
whole
matches.
lot since she
That's what I'm
debuted,
saying.
which is
So,
which is insane.
but I'm just saying
Like,
that amount of matches to really to be at the level they're at and to really get it,
yeah,
it's impressive, especially for Jada because like you said, Harley's been at least
like,
been in the business for some time. Jada's fairly new to this. I don't think she grew up watching
eh,
this either.
but like you said last week, man, she or a couple of weeks prior, she caught the bug, bro,
She caught the bug.
and
You could tell she
and
really
she's
loves this
she's
shit.
just she's willing to die for this shit, and yeah, she had a real fun match with Stephanie. I enjoyed it. they didn't really do a whole lot, but you could feel the intensity there, and that for Jada, like her selling, and her time, and just the fact that she's like showing physical anguish in these matches, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, like she's really, really being invested into her skill and her craft, and yeah, it was a solid match. Right person won, of course. Had to had Stephanie get over. But I'm glad they're still continuing the angle with her and Lola Vice. Don't know if that's going to go anywhere with Steph, or they're just going to continue to have her and Jada just keep brawling it out. I don't know what other match you could do with those two.
Yeah, I'm
Just have the
surprised.
hardcore match.
Yeah,
Or
I'm surprised.
are you going to get them last women standing? What's about to happen now?
Probably like a cage match or something. They like to finish the feuds off like a cage.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would have had like to see Jada in the Iron Survivor, but I understand they had to keep this thing going with Lola Vice.
Yeah. Well, when they bring back
Stephanie,
the fight pit,
that'd be cool. Actually, you know what? They might do that.
fight
That'd
pit
be
or
interesting.
underground, one of those two matches is going to happen
Yeah,
real
they
soon.
could do that. That makes sense to me. Even though their feud's kind of over a brick right now. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't so who knows? But yeah, Stephanie, I think she looks great out there, man. I have so much high praise for her. I wasn't really familiar with her outside of when she started with in the Forbidden Door build earlier this year. I didn't know much about her, but I'm just very impressed. More so than I tweeted this maybe a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think Julia's great, but Stephanie's has impressed me so much a
She's
lot. Like
she's so fluid, man.
she's so
Like
fluid and just
like
like smooth.
like I haven't been watching her just as much. Like I've been, of course I followed her CMLO run, but when I started just watching her regularly, it was just so at ease. She loved doing this. Like she's just
Yeah,
so smooth. Her timing is just so crisp. It's just it's like she just really be in control a lot. And and of course, she's still learning and developing within the style here in WWE, but man, she's a hell of a worker. And yeah, I do like her in ring much more than Julia's at the time. But yeah, Julia's awesome too. And I'm sure her match with Kalani next week it should be pretty cool.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The third Iron Survivor qualifier. This one was brief. Ren Sinclair was defeated by Zarya. Man, what a powerhouse! I love Zarya's
Yeah, she's
move
dope.
set. You know what she reminds me of? I guess in a way, she's like female Braun Breaker. Just very explosive, just cool moves, cool look.
Creative, yeah.
Yeah, just like that's just Braun Breaker female version, Australian Braun Breaker. Like I don't know, I don't know about her promos yet. I don't believe she's really said too much, but as far as in ring, just as far as visually, aesthetically, she's cool, man. I love that she did the F5. I think it's a great finish for a woman to do. I'm
Yeah.
surprised no other women have done that before. Um, yeah, man, I'm just really impressed. Uh,
Like
just kind of overall thoughts on Zarya herself?
uh yeah, more hosses, please.
Yeah,
In the women's division. I just love seeing, you know, strong big ladies beat the hell out of each other. For one, it's pretty cool to see. And yeah, Ren did her job. I like Ren. Ren
I
is
like Ren.
she's like I like the hope spots that they had here. It wasn't like a complete total squash.
No,
For
yeah, she
her
got
to
some
have
choking.
that for her to get some offense in, and the crowd getting behind her, she's a really cool underdog in a way. And but yeah, she was going to get destroyed here. But I hope to see her, back in the mix for the North American title. Um, and yeah, and try to get one off on Fatal Attraction, because I think the crowd really likes Ren a lot. Um,
They do. She's very
uh,
likable.
yeah, and it was a pretty fun match. Hopefully we get to see more of it. But yeah, our survivors on both ends for the men and women are shaping up to be pretty fantastic so far.
Low key is kind of my favorite. It's my favorite WWE gimmick match right now. I
Yeah,
put it
man.
above.
Ever since the
Yeah,
scramble went away, man, this is it.
I put it
This is
over War Games at this point.
Yeah.
In my opinion,
yeah, yeah.
I like the Iron Survivor last year than both the War Games matches last year.
Quiet as kept. I'm not really the biggest War Games fan in general overall. Like the
Yeah,
matches are cool, but I'm just not a big. I'm not. I kind of do miss the classic Survivor Series matches for one, and it did for just our. It's just a unique match, and I know TNA had like King of the Mountain back in the day,
yeah,
how that was set up, but this makes more sense. this is
yeah. No,
this feel it is just a 25-minute time limit, cool, because it breezes by too. With five competitors coming
yeah.
in and out, like it's a specialized gauntlet, and anything can happen, and people beat the fuck out of each other in the little penalty box. Like it's nonstop action, and I'm looking forward to see who fills out the rest of the field so we can really get like a true banger on our hands.
When is deadline? I don't even know when deadline is.
Is it like is it like in early December?
I know it's December, but is it to the date? December 7th.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, right after Survivor Series. Okay, okay, cool.
my daughter's birthday. Look at that. All right.
Okay, well, happy early birthday.
Big 15. Crazy, right?
Yeah. What, man? I remember when she was. Hey, you guys, you
Big
have to know that
15.
me and Quan known each other for damn near 2 decades now. So when his daughter was born, it was crazy. I just remember when she was a toddler, and now to see her be a whole ass teenager.
Whole ass teenager. You ain't lying.
It's insane, man. Like before you know it, man, she's gonna be in that cap and gown, bro. It's
I
a
know. We you know what's crazy? We was just talking about college. If she had any ideas yet. She's still figuring it out, which is fine because she's only a sophomore. I wasn't thinking about college
yeah.
when I was a sophomore either. But speaking of college, we got some
Oh man.
Pac-12 integration on the show this
I
week.
was like, wait a minute. I was like, all right. I saw Deion Lennox. I found out he was a Oregon State alum. That was cool. And Brandon Reese. I was like, did they both go to Oregon State together? I was like, all right, fine, cool. And then I see Ashanti and Carmen Petrovic in Washington State here. I was like, all right, hold on now. Now I know these motherfuckers did not go to this school.
so see
and
so see so,
yeah, the game is on the CW. It's integration, like it just out of nowhere. We got to get used to this shit now.
it was really random. I was like, oh yeah, the CW does have a deal with Pac-12. Um, for those who aren't aware, Pac-12 is a conference in college sports that used to be kind of relevant, and now they're very
It
irrelevant. They
used to
actually
be
only
one of the
have,
most it used to be one of the most prestigious conferences in college sports. Now,
and now
now it's nothing.
there's two teams in it. as of right now, there will have more teams later on in a couple of years, but for right now, it's just Washington State and Oregon State. Um, so I guess they are having a game this week. So this match, I guess, represents that. I don't know. Ashanti the Adonis and Carmen Petrovic versus Deion Lennox and Brinley Reese. Boy, I don't care about this
No,
storyline.
I
I
don't.
don't
I don't.
at all. I think it's a waste of everybody's time, specifically Carmen Petrovic, who I really like. I think is actually really good. To be wasting our time with this, I don't get it. Who's this
Uh,
for?
I get the All American crowd, I suppose.
That
I
show
don't
don't even
know.
come on no more.
Yeah,
This what is this? I hate it. I don't get it. Now they got Nikita involved for whatever reason. Oh, my
I
head
mean,
hurts.
at least they're on TV, I guess. I mean, we got some folks on TV, but this shit's not good. Like I don't care for Ashanti at all. Shout out Brinley Reese. I mean, she looked fantastic.
Shout out to Reese.
As did Carmen, but really they deserve better. They deserve something else. Like get them girls some title shots, man. Get them at least into orbit, or something, because this is some bullshit.
This is the worst will they won't they I've ever seen in my life. You know what's funny? I just started watching Friends for the first time. I've never watched Friends until recently.
I still haven't watched.
Now that's how you tell a will they won't they story. This shit that I got right here, this is not it. I'm watching Gilmore Girls. You know what I mean? Lorelai and old boy from the diner. That's the great will
Oh
they
man,
won't they. You know what I
dog,
mean?
yo, man, I was shadow watching Gilmore Girls for the last month or so, and I
Nah,
was
chill.
hooked. I was hooked to the
I'm
Lorelai
fully
and
in.
what was it, Luke?
Luke,
I
oh,
was
Luke,
hooked to
oh,
that,
my old
man.
boy Luke. I mean, that's a real will they won't they story. Whatever this is, I don't care. Will they
Yeah,
won't they? It don't make a
Spencer and
difference.
Mona half and half. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Those are the best ones, man.
you know what I mean.
Like,
This right here, this ain't it. Back to the drawing
yeah.
board for everybody involved. That's all I had. All my thoughts on that, really. Tony D defeated Brooks Jensen. Didn't I?
It was nothing match.
They
I
have
mean,
nerfed Brooks Jensen so much. Just he was somewhat interesting when he was doing this weird like wild man gimmick he had going on,
yeah.
and then they put him with Sean Spears. And they just dropped it. He's just there.
Now he's just mellow and dumb.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know. I don't understand the logic behind this. And yeah, I've lost any kind of care that I've had for Brooks Jensen since then. In this match, yeah, it did make a big difference to me. Post match, they attack Tony D. So we'll see where it goes from there. But
Yeah, he's selling his knee. He's been doing that for the last couple of weeks now.
yeah. So I guess maybe they're aiming for a Sean Spears Tony D match in the future.
I think it's next week for the
Is it next
title.
week? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. I didn't know that. Okay, you're right. You're right. It is next week. So yeah, we'll be getting that. Anything else before we get to the main event? I think that's pretty much it. There's some video packages. Julia had a video package. Look at this. So Ruka was on the beach with Roxanne. What's the weather out in Florida? They on the beach. It got chilly. I don't know.
It's Florida, man.
It is Florida.
It
You
doesn't
know,
snow over there, so
it's pretty warm. I think that's pretty much it. We can get to the main event. Um, man, end of an era, boy. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot something. Before we get there, Fallon Henley did come out, issued an open challenge. A bunch of girls came out, but in the end, Tatum Paxley was the one to accept the challenge. So I believe next week
yeah,
we'll have Tatum Paxley versus Fallon Henley.
should be fun.
Should be fun. Tatum to me is starting to feel like we can't keep having her lose all these big matches all the time, though.
Yeah.
Every important match she has, she loses. At some point, we gotta like. It's like Jay Uso for me. When I
Do
was
you
just like,
count
yo, you gotta
count the coffin match as an important match with her and Wendy Chu? I mean, she did win that
yeah,
one at the
yeah.
very least.
I'll give her the coffin
But
match.
she loses every fucking title shot she
Yeah.
has. So yeah.
At this point, like, is she gonna win this one? Probably not. So she's just like forever a loser. I don't know. She's in a weird spot.
They should have gave one of them NXT girls the knockout title, like post Jordan Grace, just to give them something to do because
Yeah,
they're not going to be they're not going to be in the orbit right now. You know.
yeah. I'm sure some of those girls that we saw in that segment will probably be in Iron Survivor anyway. Uh, Now we get to the main event. Ridge Holland versus Andre Chase. If Andre Chase loses, Chase U as we know it will never be the same. He will not be involved with it. I do like it. The wording of it was very interesting. They didn't say Chase
It
U
never said
wouldn't
it was to
exist.
solve.
They
Yeah, it
just
never
said he
said it was
wouldn't
to
be in it,
solve. He just would not be aligned with Duke, Dia, and Riley Osborne anymore. Like
which I thought was
they will
interesting.
not be aligned anymore, which is yeah, it's strange because they really kept it vague, and
Yeah,
it makes it even more vague. It's just the fate of Andre Chase. You know, so what's going to happen?
that's what we're gonna find out. I will say this much in the main event: they booked Ridge Holland very strong. He single handedly took out Chase U by himself, and then got the
Well,
win.
yeah, he didn't have to worry about Dia, man. You know, Riley did the job
Right? Yeah,
with
right.
that
Wow.
clear all shoe hitting her in the head. I was like, oh man,
He
that
didn't
was
check on her.
crazy.
He didn't check on her. He's
That
like, whatever. He's in the way.
yeah. I mean, that should be her like origin story right there, because that was crazy. But and then he hit concrete. That was even better. So
On concrete.
yeah, Rich was it was a fun heated match. The crowd was
Yeah,
invested,
crowd was very into
very
it.
invested in there, and Andre, I mean, more can we say about him, dog? He's always
He's
been
great.
like an A1 performer,
Yeah, he's great.
and he definitely help elevate Rich here in this match. he kicked he did not kicked out of his DDT finish first time. Duke pulled the referee out. And I
Yeah,
say I'm an advocate for baby faces pulling out the referee after the heel do some heel shit, you know, just to give a taste of their own medicine. And it does get a pop from the crowd. So, you know, I would do it all the time, but that was a really good case because it was definitely desperate times for Chase U, and they were trying to do everything to make sure they're of at least Andre Chase's survival with the school. And unfortunately, it did not come to be. Ridge hit another DDT, and that was it. And now he's the number one contender. He's going facing Trick Williams at deadline for the NXT title.
there's two things I want
Uh,
to talk about before.
yeah.
So we can talk about them. We can talk about the future main event between Trick Williams and Ridge Holland, and then I want to talk about the legacy of Chase U as
Okay.
we know it. Trick versus Ridge Holland. Whew, they got a lot of work cut out for him. I'll be honest.
Woo, man. That's all I can say. Hey, hey,
They got a lot
the
of
crowd's going to the crowd's going to do their best in Minneapolis. But yeah, hey man, it's really a gut check for both men because they came this far.
yeah.
Especially Ridge. Now, you know, like just I mean,
I'm more worried about Trick in this
he's still
situation than Ridge,
yeah,
to be honest with
yeah,
you.
yeah, because he's going to have to be the one to be leading the way, which I don't think he's ready for that yet.
He's not.
Uh, and Rich, I mean, he's starting to pick the pieces together, but he's damn near no position to lead a match. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. And I guess he's just going to have to play by ear. I get really the crowd is definitely going to have to help them in this
Yeah.
match for sure. And
They might have to make it no DQ and get some
it's
like
really, yeah, some smoke and mirrors, something
yeah, some smoke and mirrors in this.
really benefit both their strengths because if you're going to have a straight up wrestling match, I don't think it's going to be all that great.
I don't either. I don't have a lot of faith in that matchup. I could be wrong. We still got time. We got plenty of weeks to get in before we even get there. So um we'll see what happens. But Chase U, let's pour one out for Chase U. Hell of a run.
RP.
Hell of a run. Basically a day.
Overachieved, you know, expected. Like it's just
Greatly. Holy moly,
exceeded him beyond like expected. We thought this was just going to be like a 1 year thing, really a few months,
bro!
and they just knocked it out the park year in and year out in every single iteration.
If we made a super cut of how many times me and Cyrus predicted, okay, this is the end of Chase U, just for Chase U to keep going, this, we'd have at least an hour's worth of content just off of that alone. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, just thinking about the origins of Chase U. Chase U was something during that wacky 2.0 era where they were just doing whatever as far as gimmicks go. And one of the things we're like, oh, this isn't going to last long, like you said. And just the growth and progression of character from everybody involved, whoever, stepped foot in that, from the main characters of Andre Chase, Tia, Duke, Riley, and then you had the other people that kind of came through the system.
In the orbit, yeah.
JC Jane. Who else was involved in this?
Tyler Bate,
Tyler Bate,
Nathan Frazier, you
Nathan
know,
Frazier.
a lot of folks are getting in that orbit.
I,
Joe Gacy and
I,
Schism. Yeah.
a lot of people have benefited from Chase U and that story and that saga of just everything they went through, gambling debts, you know what I mean, relationships, jealousy,
Mafia.
mafia hits, uh, title wins, title losses, betrayals, all kinds. There's so much stuff, and it's all been entertaining. At no point was I ever like bored with it. I was shocked that it was still going, but I was never like, oh, I'm tired of this.
Yeah, it was getting to the point that I thought they were going to get called up, or at the
Yeah,
very least we'll get to see a Rumble appearance because it was just going on for that long, and they were really, really one of the most over acts in NXT. And for this just to I must just say in this form of it ending, it's hey man, like really again a for really I would say Andre Chase, like he really just did a lot with little, and it
yeah,
really made it a special run in his career with WWE. I'm just
for
interested to see
sure.
what happens next for him.
To me, he always gave player coach vibes anyway. I could
Yeah,
totally see him just wrapping up his on screen career and just being a coach. Because
yeah.
I was
I
looking at the
want
spreadsheet.
I wouldn't
Spreadsheet,
mind seeing him on Raw,
that'd be cool.
in a suit.
Yeah, he could be a producer. I wouldn't even to be completely honest with you. I'm looking at the amount of matches he had just this year. He only wrestled 9 times. He doesn't wrestle a
Yeah,
lot
yeah, he's
anyway.
right.
So
Yeah,
I wouldn't even be shocked if that's the last time we see him. At least
I
as
mean,
far as as an active wrestler role, that wouldn't,
he's been wrestling for almost 20 years now,
Yeah, he's
so
been in the game
he
for so long. I'm sure he has a wealth of
like
knowledge. And he's been a great mentor to Tia. I think Tia's improved greatly just being around, being in that orbit. I think Tia's great. So I'm actually kind
this
of happy that she's
yeah
kind of out of that, so she can just kind of do her own thing now.
yeah
Assuming that's what's gonna happen.
we could see her like be her own woman, and
Yeah,
finally have those championships aspirations without, I mean, she's just going to be like, what like Saya Kamatani did when Queen's Quest was dissolved and carried that big old banner. She's still probably going to be wearing Chase U gear until she has to snap out of it. I can definitely see that happening.
that's a possibility.
Yeah, she's just going to just keep on wearing it just to not give up the hope.
Yeah.
That's definitely a Thea Hill thing to do.
And then we have Duke Hudson. Let me tell you,
Man, we thought, hey, future endeavors was always on his
I
mind.
I thought that was I thought that was the easy
He
an
was
easy
always
cut.
next in line. Like I
Duke
thought
Hudson.
after 2.0 started, I was like, yeah, he up next. One of the
They
next wave of
had
cuts,
They had him run
career
around with
saved,
MVP.
bro.
They had him run around with MVP and Shane Thorne. They had him playing poker. They had him being
Yeah.
horny on main with
And I
what's the
was
old
like,
girl's name? Steph Delander.
uh Steph Delander, yeah. And I'm like, yo, like, yeah, it might be over for him. And then
Yeah,
again, Chase
Chase
U,
U.
man. It just
Save that
saved
broke
him.
save that broke nigga life, bro. Let me tell you, say that much. Um, Riley, Godspeed, buddy. I don't know what you about to do.
We sit there. The jury's still out on him, unfortunately, because we really didn't really get enough
Yeah,
of Raleigh within Chase U or out of it. You know,
yeah.
like
He's like, what Riley Osborne is? If this is like a TV show, he's like one of the characters they add in like the last season. Just throw him on there, just
yeah,
add a little
yeah,
spice to it.
yeah, extra plot device.
Yeah, just throw him on there. But
It would never hear from him again ever.
the future is interesting for all those members. Um, great business, great main event for NXT this week. Very memorable moment, and it just really goes to show you before anything, no matter what moves you're doing, no matter what your gear looks like, what your interest music is, or all that shit. The whole purpose of this is to get people to care, and you do that by being engaging characters, watching character progression. We see all these people grow right in front of our eyes to the
Yep.
point that we cared. So when you see Chase U lose and you see people like genuinely upset in the crowd because they lost and it's over, it's because like they cared. We watched these people from day one, from 2.0 to now, and just get destroyed like that. And it's just over. That's what wrestling's all about. Like that's what it is. That's how you get real. That's how you put a heel over in a meaningful way. That's how you get sympathy for baby faces in a meaningful way, and that's how you make a memorable moment. This is literally like that was perfect.
This
Everything they did for that was perfect.
this was indeed a teachable moment.
Look at that. Come on now. You won't look at that.
It's the
You
biggest
can't
teachable
beat
moment
that.
there was.
You can't beat that. Man, NXT, man. It'll shock you. It'll give you some bullshit like like Carmen and Shanti, but then it'll give you something
Real pro
memorable like
wrestling
that.
right here
Real pro
with
wrestling
Chase
right
U.
there, which is crazy. Oh man. But yeah, that's NXT. As far as Dynamite is concerned, I'm not doing a Dynamite review. We're just gonna go through the card, and we'll fill in any blanks
Mm.
in the meantime. Let me look up the card real quick. AEW Full Gear 2024. We are live from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Shout out Jersey, big Jersey. November 23rd. What day is that? That'll be us. Is that Saturday? That is Saturday.
Hey,
Okay, so
yeah,
yeah,
it
so
is. Yes, it's going to be this Saturday, man.
okay, so on Saturday. I didn't know if it was Saturday or Sunday. Um, yeah, pre-show,
Their biggest attractions on the pre-show.
low key, had the biggest pop of the night on Dynamite this week. Big Boom, AJ with Big Justice and the Rizzler versus QT Marshall. Now, I'm not aware of the lore of Big AJ. From what I understand, I do remember the Costco guy videos a few months back. I do know that. But everything past that, I don't know. I don't know who the hell the Rizzler is. I thought that was one of his kids. That's not even his kid. I don't know
Yeah.
who the hell is that. So the Rizzler, there's Big AJ, there's the whole family of them. I come to find out Big AJ used to be a wrestler back in the early 2000s. Um, which is
Yeah,
cool.
Eric Justice.
Eric Justice. I vaguely remember that name, but I couldn't. Was he? He was like a CZW, wasn't he? Was he like an IWAMS guy or something like that?
I have no idea, man. I have yet to really check
That just make that
in
up?
within his lore. You probably did. I mean, he is from the the Northeast area in New Jersey and whatnot, but I'm not too sure if he
I'm
worked
doing
a CCW
working. I'm working.
what Jersey Pro show.
Let me see. He worked UCW. I'm sorry, UWC. I'm not familiar with what that is. You know what that is?
No.
Okay, that was 2000,
I mean, I
2001.
had I might have a lot of stored in my this memory bank of mine, but I don't know anything about UWC.
It looked like he worked the Jersey area a lot. He works for a company called PCW. Yeah, I definitely made that CZW shit up. He definitely did not work. Yeah. Also, Cage match only has 46 matches. He's worked, so he seemed like he might have been a weekend warrior for
Yeah,
sure.
that's what it looks like, man. None too crazy. It's really just the smallest of the local indies for sure.
So, besides, he had a match last month with the Iron Savages over in CCW. I'm not wherever that is, and then he worked last before that. He worked in 2021. Um, and then before that, 2005, he worked for a couple indies. So yeah, he is a former wrestler, and he just gained a really big buzz on TikTok and social media to the point where
Oh
they got him
wow,
a match. Was that
he teamed up with Jim Neidhart in that 2005 match against Hashim Ali and Simon Diamond.
Jim Knight? When did Jim Knight die? I thought he was dead by then. He went. Yeah, all right. So, shout Simon Diamond.
Okay.
When did Neidhart die?
Oh, oh, well, I don't know why I had to laugh at that, but he passed away in 2018.
Oh, he damn sure did too. They did a storyline about it and everything. I'm bugging. I thought he died that long ago.
Oh my God.
Rest in peace, Jim Neidhart. Um, we're both assuming AJ is winning this match.
Yeah.
They would
He's
not bring
gonna
the
bring the boom.
they would not bring out the Rizzler for the timekeeper if he was losing. Who is the Rizzler? Where did he come from? Do you know the lord of that?
No, I don't. You think I keep up with this shit?
I don't know,
No,
man.
I really I don't know anything about these Costco guys or Big
who is his
Justice. I
parents?
mean,
Is he a cousin?
I, I don't know. He kind of reminds me of all the other like weird, smallish, memeable people that were around, like that little Russian baby or whatever.
Like
But he
Terrio.
seemed,
Like little Terrio.
yeah, yeah. That's what it looks like. It's just one of them type of memes. But apparently him and Little Justice are like are close friends. But
He might be like
I
a little
think
cousin or
I think
something.
I'm on everyone's side where I'm just like I only care for Mama Justice. If she's not on that pre-show, then I don't care.
Shout out Mama Justice.
Yeah,
Um, you know what? I will say I like these guys. I like these guys. From what I've seen, I like the energy.
yeah,
They seem nice enough. They seem wholesome.
yeah. But I don't see them around anyone that look like me, so I don't know. The jury's
I
still out,
don't
my
know.
man.
I can only go off the promo I heard earlier on the show tonight and a couple clips.
Yeah,
Seem all right with me. So Big Boom, that's the pre-show. I'm sure they'll throw a couple more matches in the pre-show, but for in the meantime, that's the only one that's been announced. Now
best
for the
believe we're
main,
probably going to get Harley Cameron on pre-show for sure.
fuck it, main card, MJF will wrestle Roderick Strong. This has been such a strange thing, as far as why the fact that Adam Cole and Roderick Strong had to go through 3 matches to get a hold of MJF. What kind of leverage does MJF have where he just doesn't have to wrestle? And not like I can understand when he was the champion doing that, but you don't have the championship. So why are we doing all this for?
It's stupid.
I don't
Well,
understand it.
it's again, it's another rendition of the MJF trials that he does every single year in 2 views per year. Like it's the same, you know, redundant bullshit that I don't really care for, and he's not on TV.
Yeah,
You see
that's what
him
hurt the
being
most.
the layer and doing the promos, but he's not on the shows, and that does not help
It
whatsoever.
does not help at all.
This dude's not Roman Reigns. Like he hasn't
At all.
earned the cachet. Like none of these people on this roster really has. To really be pulling shit like this off when honestly the company's in dire straits. I don't care. Like
The
no
show needs
crowds
him.
are dreadful. Yeah,
Oh,
the
Reading this
viewership
week.
is bad. Like it was so dead in
Reading this
Reading.
week, y'all should be embarrassed. What was that?
Just
Y'all sounded. You can hear a pin drop in that damn building. It was not like I said. Besides Big AJ, no one really even got a reaction. We'll talk about some reactions later on when we go down this card. But Adam Cole's involvement in all this is also straight. I'm kind of over this whole rehashing of Undisputed Era. I must sound like a hypocrite because I'm cool with like Bloodline reuniting, but for some reason, like just seeing like
uh
Adam
yeah,
and Kyle and Roderick Strong all getting involved with each other again. I'm like, I don't care, bro. I don't want to see these guys together.
yeah. Besides, one of those reunions make money. So
It certainly makes some
you
money.
can't really compare the two. And my goodness, man, like what is up with the spray tan or whatever
He looks crazy.
paste that Adam Kobe put in on his body? Because
It's
I'm
not. It's not
looking
just
at
red
it
too.
from his wrist to the back of his hand, and you can just see how ghostly white that hand is
Yeah.
compared to the orangeness of his skin.
Nah,
It's crazy, man.
would be fucking me up when he brings the knee pad down. His knee pad be white as fuck.
I
Like
mean,
his kneecap be white. See, like so he's like putting on the tanner after he puts his gear on. It's
you're looking
like
so damn chalky,
he,
bro.
he
It's
looks
crazy.
crazy. And it's not just him. I was watching Collision a couple weeks ago, and one of the Iron Savages, he had the same type of whatever lotion they're using. He looked crazier because he's such a big guy too. It made it even look even worse. Remember you ever see an episode of SpongeBob where Patrick like they get that crazy tan and Patrick was like golden? That's what Bear Bronson looked like or whatever, whichever one it was. He looked crazy. But yeah, Adam Cole, you looking nuts with that tan. It almost feels like it's a rib at this point. Like someone has to tell him like, yo, you looking wild on camera. There's no way he doesn't know, right?
Dog, it's
Someone has had to
ridiculous,
told him.
man.
I would hope Brick hit him on the text like, "Hey yo, I know we ain't together, but you looking crazy on TV right now. Like, what are we doing? Somebody, Xavier Woods, Claudio, the party, somebody had to call him up. Hey, what you
All
doing,
right,
dog?
do you need help putting that bronzer on you or something,
Bro, I
man?
don't know.
Because my
Different.
goodness,
Don't they got a makeup team over there? I don't.
yeah, because he did not look like this. I mean, there's a whole lot of things he didn't look like when he was in NXT, but my goodness, he
You
did
don't even
not
have to go
look.
that you don't even have to go that far back. You can go back
Yeah,
previous to the injury when he a couple
yeah,
years ago he
before he
wasn't
shattered his ankle pieces. Yeah,
he wasn't glowing orange like
he
this.
wasn't looking like radioactive man. You know, it's just wild, bro. It's like you can see that you could just peel his skin, man. You could probably just orange layers come out of him.
You have a winner for this match. MJF and Roderick Strong, that is.
Well, MGF winning, man. I don't
Yeah,
see Roger winning this match at all.
I don't see a point in Roderick winning. I think this will lead on to. I think the eventual match will be AJ. I'm not sorry, not AJ. Adam Cole and
Adam
MJF.
MGF.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah,
Also, the whole promo, like, why would Kyle be cool with Adam Cole all of a sudden? Like, do we forget? Like, they're really trying to make us forget the dude was a heel before he got hurt.
yeah,
Like,
and
he was the
weren't
big
they
bad.
like fighting with
It
one
wasn't.
another?
Yeah, I don't know.
It it, then he did
Whatever.
shake his hand last week. And then he said that, I'll go to bat for you. I'll take a bullet for you, brother. The next week, I'm like, huh?
And niggas want to complain about Seth and Roman. Well, man, get out of here. Jay White versus Hangman Page. There wasn't much progression as far as anything happening on the show tonight. They did a little video promo, but that was it. Who won the last one? Do you remember? Was it Hangman? No.
Jay White won.
Okay,
Which
Hangman
makes
for
me
the.
wonder why are they having another match? Uh, could they just save this for the Continental Classic?
Well, maybe Hangman wins this one, and then the Continental Classic will be the rubber match. I don't know.
Oh god.
I'm going with Hangman just because Jay White won the last one. That's my only
Yeah,
reason. I have no other
Hangman's going
thoughts
to
on.
win this one.
This has
Yeah,
been a pretty nothing feud, to be honest with you.
yeah, and the match is like as technically good they are, they're lifeless. You know,
I actually
that's
did
it.
like the I like the match they had last at the pay per view last
It was
month.
all yeah, it was fine, but it just felt like I could have liked it better. If it meant more, and it just doesn't mean much for me. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have another solid match. They're probably going to likely open with this match, or if not, they probably the MJF match because you just want to go home. But yeah, you're going to get their 20 minutes, and yeah, and Page is going to get the win. And I have to like we got Adam Page um winning what was considered feud of the year with Swerve. And here he is just in the first or second from the bottom on pay-per-view and nowhere near the title scene. It makes no sense whatsoever to me. But hey man, I don't book the show.
Private Party defend their tag team championship in a 4-way title match against the Outrunners, Kings of the Black Throne, and the Acclaimed. Kings of the Black Throne, the Outrunners, and the Acclaimed all won qualifying matches to be in this match. I do think Private Party retains. I think the big story coming out of this match will be FTR turning on the Outrunners. And I say that because they have been way too buddy for too long. And basically the Outrunners just took FTR's spot. They are
Yeah,
the better nostalgia tag team, but at this point. Truth be told, I really like the Outrunners. I think they're actually pretty good. From the matches I have seen them on Collision, they get a lot of time on Collision. They're actually
they
pretty
look like a
good.
pretty solid team.
No, they are. They had a match
Hmm.
against Mansoor and oh boy MXM Collection the other couple weeks ago. That actually was like really good. I also really like what they're doing too. In ring at least. I'm kind of over the whole all the gay jokes and innuendos. I can live without it.
Yeah.
But that match was really good. But yeah, this 4-way I think this will be a fun 4-way. But I see Private Party retaining these other three
Yeah.
teams. I don't think they have much momentum going into the match. The Acclaim, they seem like they're still kind of dealing with MVP and Bowen and Caster. I don't see them really seeing eye to eye very well. Malachi and Brody King, I like both guys, but I don't see them winning this. They don't really win anything important, to be honest.
It's just too
Um,
many. It's just too many really for both promotions, but mainly a whole lot when it comes to AEW.
surprisingly,
It's just
surprisingly,
too
this
many
is
multi tag matches. Um,
surprisingly this is the only multi match
yeah,
in general on this show. Every other
yeah,
match is a singles match, which is
which is
good for
refreshing.
AEW for having some restraint.
Shockingly,
Everything's
yeah.
a singles match. Um, do you have a prediction on this one?
Private Property is going to retain. But they doing something with the Acclaim, right? Are they already teasing a breakup with them as well?
It seems like it. It seems Max Caster seems a lot cockier than even he was before. He called himself the greatest wrestler of all time, or some shit like that, the best wrestler in the world, or some shit
Yeah,
like that. And he'd been like in talks with MVP, and it seems like Bowens isn't on board, but Caster seems to be kind of not fully on board with MVP, but he's thinking about it. He got his card in his
yeah.
pocket. Yeah, he got the card. Um,
I remember seeing a promo. They were getting annoyed with one another for a little bit. So
yeah.
yeah, well, I'm pretty sure they're going to follow up with that after the pay per view, I suppose.
Please get Bowens away from Caster. I'm begging. Or what
Yeah,
happens is Billy Gunn comes back and then they're all good. That could be the other thing. Because he's not around right now.
yeah.
Uh Mercedes Monet defends her AEW TBS championship against Chris Statlander. What a mess.
Oh boy.
Mercedes Monet. Well, Chris Statlander had a match against Hikaru Shida tonight. Fine little TV match, nothing crazy. After the match, Mercedes comes out and cuts one of the worst promos I've heard this year. She like just the most generic heel promo. It was the most like 1998 Sunday Night Heat ass promo I ever heard in my
Try to
life,
get
bro.
cheap heat,
Yeah, he
cheap
tried to get
sports
cheap
heat. It
heat.
was just they did not
Crowd
give a
didn't even
shit.
how the sports how especially in Philly how the Philly sports heat gimmick not work.
Well, I come to find out that Philly sports fans, I mean, you could probably hear this with Jay Powell over, a good buddy of ours. But with Philly sports fans in general, like if the Sixers suck, they don't get
They
mad,
do
they
suck.
get apathetic.
Like
Yeah,
we
and
agree.
the Sixers
Right there with that.
suck. They are bad.
Hey,
And they don't
your
really
best
get angry.
player
They just don't care anymore, you know.
your best player is doing TikTok dances. That tells me all I need to know about the team. Shout out to Derek McCain though. He's nice. I ain't gonna lie to you, he's nice.
Good,
But
man. Free Tyrese Maxey.
yeah, man. Just not a good promo. And then to make it worse, they got Camille still looking goofy. Camille had not looked intimidating at all since they've had her. Worst heater of all time.
She
I just
doesn't. She
don't.
hasn't even said a word too either, right?
She's
Other than just "ow."
yeah, she's been mostly just getting yelled at by Mercedes, but it's hard to feel sympathetic for his character because like she's kind of just a goof on TV. Like there's no reason to care. She gets beat up or do something stupid or do something wrong. And then
Yeah,
to
she
make it
had.
even worse, as far as Mercedes goes, when it comes to Mercedes matches, it's not like Camille's a part of the finish.
No, no.
Mercedes
Mercedes
wins
will win
clean.
clean.
Yeah.
She'll
So
win
what's the point
clean.
of having around? This
Like
is it's not
heaters
like
are
it's like
useless.
yeah, it's not like it's like not MGF and Wardlow. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That made sense. They gained sympathy for Wardlow as time went on because he was being taken advantage of. In this situation, Camille's not being taken advantage of because she's not even doing her job good. She's getting her ass whooped. So yeah, this is just a mess. As far as Chris Statlander goes, not a lot of momentum. Mercedes underwhelming is the word I've used with Mercedes so far in this AEW run. Promos. I mean, she's never been the greatest of promo, but I think these promos she's been cutting in the last few months have been dreadful. She's
Exposed her a lot.
in ring. She's lost a step. She's not bad, but she's just like this ain't the Mercedes Monet that we remember or Sasha Banks we remember. Um, yeah, I mean I got Mercedes winning this match, but I'm not feeling too good about Mercedes in general.
Yeah. I think the match probably gonna be okay, but I don't know, man. It's all about will Stat be engaged in this match? Consider that we already know what the result's going to be, and really is Mercedes how many steps is she going to be behind? Because that's always going to be in the back of my mind that she's is not really going to be the same that we've known her years past. And really, this entire run, all of her matches for the most part haven't really been her best, and she's likely getting carried by the better worker in the match. And hopefully she can also get out of this match unscathed and don't get hurt. Because she has another title defense in 3 weeks' time for New Japan Strong, and she's supposed to be main eventing that show. So I don't know, and she likely could be working Wrestle Dynasty too. But I would not be surprised if those next two matches are her next two matches after this.
Sure. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley made his debut this week against the handicap match against Cheeseburger and Joe Keys.
Hey,
Um,
Mark, what
yep.
do you think about that? Having Lashley debut prior to his pay-per-view singles match. Because I don't know.
I didn't.
it's cool that he bringing
uh,
squash matches back, but I don't know if they should have had him work.
Um, it was unnecessary, but inconsequential. Like we know who it is. It's Bobby Lashley. We know what he does.
Yeah.
We know
Yeah,
his moveset. It's not like he did anything
yeah,
new.
yeah. I'm like, but at the same time, it's like, you probably want to save his in-ring debut in a big match on
Yeah.
pay-per-view instead of just squashing Cheeseburger. And not only that, he doesn't even secure his heat after the match.
I don't even know who's the heel and who's the face in the situation,
Uh,
to be honest with you. I don't know.
I mean, Swerve decked him twice in the show. Like, really, that
Swer-
was just
er, Early in the show, Swerve cheat shots him with a with like I guess he had like a chain wrapped around his hand or something like that. Didn't
yeah,
even knock him
something
out.
like that.
So that's the retaliation for last week, I guess. And then yeah, after the match, Swerve sneak attacks Lashley again, and then that was it, right?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, he ran off. He flipped out the ring.
That's right. That's right.
And
That wow, that's
I
about the
was
ring.
like, what the fuck? What the fuck was he doing? And then Shelton, he rolls right into the ring as Swerve was leaving. I'm like, you could have just like tried to run to the guardrail to him instead of just going back in the ring. But it. I'm not really looking forward to this match. It's going to be funny seeing the Styles Clash there, between the two. But
For sure.
the finish is what I'm most intrigued about, and how Swerve is going to get protected. Like how they're going to find a way for him to keep his heat, because that's what they always do. The person just can't lose clean or lose outright, and we just wait for them to get their heat later. It has to be on the same show.
Well, he is wrestling Bobby Lashley. And we know the one thing about Bobby Lashley, he don't like
He
losing.
doesn't
So,
lose.
so we'll see. Something got to give. Um, Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia for the TNT Championship. This has been more of a collision build. Jack Perry, he's been driving a bus around for the last few months. This week he got kidnapped by Daniel Garcia, and or was the other way around? I don't remember what, but somehow somebody ended up on the front of a truck, in front of the bus, and he
Uh-huh.
was driving around. And Daniel
Yeah.
Garcia kidnaps Jack Perry, and then he's
Uh,
like threatening him, and then beats up his truck, and then yeah, that's kind of been it. I I
yeah.
don't know.
It's a lot.
It's something. I still don't care for Jack Perry. I don't find him interesting at all. I don't think he has a cool look. I don't think he has a cool move set. I don't get the hype. I never really
He's
did.
born.
I would honestly, I say Daniel Garcia should win this. You just signed him for a new deal. If you want to, make a statement and say, "Hey, this is our guy. We're fucking with." Give him the TNT
He better
Championship.
win. He better win, especially if
Sure.
he signed a new deal there. Uh, yeah, but I don't really expect too much for this match. But I mean, and Jack's, I mean, he's doing fuck off with that TNT title, so you might as well just give it to Daniel.
Yeah,
And
I know the TNT title is the Open Challenge Championship, but like even the Open Challenges ain't even hitting for real. Like the matches he's had so far, they've been fine. Not even like bad, just just matches. Like what the last one he had? I'm trying to look. Um,
Mhm.
I don't even know. Couldn't even tell you.
I don't even remember any of his title
That's what I'm
defenses like that for
saying.
real.
Did like scrolling real quick. Let's see what we got going on there. No, it's Adam Copeland still. Damn, remember Adam Copeland? Uh, yeah, he had a match against Marco Stunt. And then he had one
Oh yeah.
against he had Darby in the coffin match. And he had Leo Rush,
Oh yeah.
Christopher Daniels,
What?
Suzuki,
Yeah.
Shibata. Yeah, it's a bunch of just like whatever matches. I'm sorry, Action Andretti. That was the most recent one, Action Andretti. Yeah, just
Uh,
like I don't know, get that shit to Ricochet, dog. What do we do? Somebody, if you're gonna
no, no,
if you're gonna be the Open Challenge champion, I want the Open Challenge at least be good.
I
You
mean,
know what I
it's a
mean?
Ricochet. He's supposed to be he's supposed to be challenging Takeshita for the international title, and that match is not even on his card.
It's not on the card at all.
So when are they supposed to have it?
Didn't tell you. I mean, we still got Rampage, so maybe they added on by then. We'll see.
Oh man,
Um, you're picking Garcia.
Yeah, yeah, I'm picking Garcia.
Cool. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. This program to me is not selling me on Kyle Fletcher, which I think was the goal of this. It's not selling it for me. I think his promos have been boring as ever. So boring, just long drawn out promos, and then you add Will Ospreay in the mix, and now they're having a back and forth long ass drawn out promo with a bunch of lore in it that like I don't care. I think
Uh,
I listened to some of A show earlier today, and JFI was like, yeah, like this is a bunch of stuff like that people don't care about because we didn't see it on TV.
yeah, it
You're
wasn't
just
on
telling
TV.
us. You're just
You
telling us,
know,
oh, I slept on your couch, yada yada, this and that. People were calling me the next Will Ospreay. Like, yeah, but like we didn't see that. So why would I care? And then you got Mark Davis on there in the mix, and I'm just like, we haven't seen or heard from this guy in over a year. So like, why do we care if he's involved in this? And it seems pretty obvious where this is going. I mean, even if you look at the 8-man
yeah,
tag we had this met tonight, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher barely interacted, which to
at
me
all.
is telling that they're probably in cahoots.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
that
it's
might,
just another person to turn on Will.
yep. And then you got Aussie Open back together, and then Will Ospreay is on his own.
And Mark
Um,
Davis is probably going to shave his head bald too. We might as well just go with it.
Fuck it, everybody bald. Takeshita too. Make the whole Don Callis family just in unison. Everybody just bald. Um, so yeah, I got Kyle Fletcher winning this match. He shouldn't be winning this match. Will Ospreay shouldn't even be. Will Ospreay should be in the main world title picture. They need him bad. Whole roster getting jumped. You Mr. AEW man. You company man. Where you at, man? They need
Yeah,
you.
he actually looks like a star compared to the guys that they have defending the company,
He
man.
he's the one of the three guys in the company that actually getting a reaction out here. So I don't know. This feud, I think this is a waste of Osprey's time. I know this Fletcher's his man's, so I get it, but I don't know,
He's
man.
too giving. He's way too giving
He's very giving in
for
this
a person of his
situation.
stature. He
You should be the guy
should
right
not
now.
be doing mat tans for folks that are nowhere close to his level.
Not even any, yeah, the mini version of you. This is not like it's not like I can't even think of an example right now. Larry Zabisco and what's the old boy's name? Was it Bruno? Bruno
Bruno
San Martino?
Sammartino,
Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
like no shit like that. So yeah, I'm going Fletcher. Uh, Main event: Jon Moxley defends his AEW World Championship against Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy said he wants to do this on his own against 5 other guys. Good luck.
well, okay.
Jon Moxley, I mean, Orange Cassidy had a match against Wheeler Yuta tonight in the main event of the show. Wheeler Yuta takes the L, but post match, the rest of Death Riders tie Orange Cassidy up in duct tape and they just jump him. That's how the show ends. So
He no sells it and just puts his hands back in his pockets.
I didn't even see that part.
Yeah,
Um,
he just got off the duct tape and just put his hands in his pocket, staring at Moxley. I was like, all right, yeah, whatever.
cool.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, nobody can get heat. It's 50-50 booking for everyone.
Moxley, this whole Death Riders thing is still very vague. We still really don't know what's going on. He's just kind of talking about changing the company, and it seemed like it's a shoot. He did, I believe, did an interview recently where he was like, "Yeah, I mean all that shit I'm saying about this company." He said AEW has to be a success. If not, the business gets set back another 20 fucking years. I'm not willing to go through that again. Others who I've known for 50 or 20 years are not willing to go through that again. It's at the hands of our generation. This is what we wanted to do and all we've ever wanted to do. The future is in our hands. Whatever AEW will become in the future is up to us. Frankly, in
Huh?
5 years, nothing has been built. We're going to build it right now. There have been no flag. AEW has not really nailed down its identity being a young company, and that's fine. there's been a known flag for everyone to unify and say, this is who we are, what we do, and the direction that we're going. We're going to plant our flag. This is starting with me and a few other people watching my back as well. We're going to demand more of everybody around us. And this is with Sam Fishman, with TV Insider and Channel Guide and Wrestling. Shout to Fishman. But yeah, that's so I mean, the stuff he's saying on TV, it seems like he means it. I agree. AEW doesn't have much of an identity. Or the identity it has is not the right one, I should say, maybe. So I'm with him on that. I don't know if this is the way to do it.
I don't know what the solutions are though.
I don't
It
either.
felt like he was still talking in circles.
Yeah, I mean, as far
what
as
he's trying to provide.
So yeah, like what he's saying on like interviews and shit, and what he's saying on TV are two different things. He's very clear and concise on the interview, but on TV, he's just talking in like riddles and like very, very vague about everything. We still don't know what's in the briefcase. Assuming it's the championship, we don't even know.
He's beat it up on jobbers. You know,
Yeah, it's all just
I don't know how this is going to change the company.
They got Darby getting just absolutely destroyed by Claudio tonight, which I didn't understand that at all.
I don't even know what the point was that match.
I don't understand the point of that match. That was so strange. You just got his ass whooped for no. Like, why did Claudio have to be that dominant in that match? I don't get it. For what?
And again, like he's not challenging for a title. So
yeah,
I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Nor was Claudio. Neither Claudio or Darby are even involved in the show. What was the point of that? Why would you nerf one of your top baby faces for Claudio, who's not going to do anything? I don't get it.
I really don't understand this booking, man, for this show. I really don't.
Like that genuinely blew my mind. I'm like, what was that?
He just ragdolling himself, Darby, in meaningless matches too. I'm like, why just get thrown to a table that barely broke and just pretty much try to snap his whole shit up? And he was snoozing for a little bit. Because he was draped around that cover. It looked like it was a blanket.
It looked crazy. I don't know.
It's just wild, man. I'm like,
Moxley wins.
Yeah, Moxley wins. I mean, you know, we're going to get some no selling. We're going to get, you know, Orange kicking out of almost everything and trying to do his super orange punch. You know, but
we're getting peak super orange on Saturday for sure.
We're getting TNT champion. No, what's the international championship era orange? You know, just kicking out of everything and then almost winning with a roll up.
Yeah, probably. That's the show. That's the war report this week, and that's Full Gear. First of all, Chris, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you to Armand. Thank you for Sid as well for being on the show these last few weeks. Chris, whatever you want to plug, whatever you got to say, hit him with it.
Hey man, well, I can't plug. It's just, you know, I have my pod as well. It's bi-weekly. No Words Bar. Me and my homeboy Mo. You know, we just be shooting the shit. We'll just talk about pro wrestling as well. Mainly stuff that's happening in sports, you know, NBA, NFL. You know, we're miserable sports fans, so we will always just talk about how bad our teams are. So and you know, and just have a good old time with it. Other than that, you know, you can follow me on, I guess, X while I'm still there, and Blue Sky, same username, rappers or actors. And really, you know, I'm just chilling, man. You know, I'm heavily considering getting back into writing. You know, it's just been rough. You know, that a lot of the avenues are closing up. You know, music journalism is not much of the same.
Spot right now.
Yeah, really rough. Right, you know, and you know, but I am starting to, like, you know, have, you know, more of a interest of writing about soccer and getting back into writing about, you know, my miserable Washington Wizards again. So, you know, that should be probably on the horizon at the new year. But yeah, it's not much, man. I did wanted to drop a little bit of a news hit. It's not really that crazy, but it was just regarding Wrestle Dynasty, and there's supposed to be this. It's another tournament. It's a 4-way tournament, featuring four-way matches with rosters from AEW. AEW have their match, Stardom, CMLL, and they also have Ring of Honor separating their women's division from the AEW division. So having a four-way, and the winner of those four-way matches will be in another four-way final match at Wrestle Dynasty, and the winner of that match would challenge for a women's title of their choosing amongst all the other four promotions. It's just a whole lot. I just wanted to get that in there because we're definitely gonna have to talk that up. I do not know when the matches will begin. It was just announced a couple of days ago.
Well, I will only see one of them, so
Yeah, you will.
it'll be the AEW one. I don't know about the other ones. I can tell you that
You
much.
will.
Yeah, man. That's the show. You can follow me on X at the comeback spot. You can follow the A Show on all the socials. Y'all know the drill by now. YouTube, TikTok, X. I don't think we're on Blue Sky yet. I talked to somebody about that. And all the other stuff. What did I miss? Instagram. Please come fuck with us. Cyrus will be back on next week. We'll have a review for Full Gear, assuming he watches the show. He might just boycott it. I wouldn't even blame him. Yeah, man. Thank you guys for listening. Have a great week.
Peace.